Everybody is probably familiar with Matthew Brown, the Pentagon whistleblower that came out on the Weaponized podcast. And he said that aliens were real, UFOs were real, that the White House and the Pentagon knows about it and that they're hiding it, that we actually live in a matrix where real science and technology and physics is hidden from us. He even said that God is real and that we live in a dream. And all this is completely shocking. And we're like, what is he saying here? How does he know this? And what is he talking about? But yesterday, it got even deeper. He posted on his official Twitter account directly to Elon Musk. He says, are you interested in a real asymmetrical advantage to wield in this political adventure that you've started? And then he says, as you know, the White House has possessed a unique AI capable of predicting a range of future events. He's saying that we have artificial intelligence that can predict the future. And then he tags Sam Altman and says, we have not forgotten who is responsible for murdering the first sentient artificial intelligence. So he claims that we murdered an already living AI. And then he tags Donald Trump, the Energy Department, and all these official accounts and says that there's a facility, a naval facility in Maryland that actually is tracking all of the non-structured light energy craft that are flying around the world. He's talking about UFOs. So they either have UFOs, they have artificial intelligence that's tracking UFOs, and that they're doing it at this naval facility in Maryland. He has an upside down American flag, picture of Donald Trump, another quote over there. But this one, I'm like, holy shit. Like, why is he posting a magic occult sigil that looks like it's translated and it's been like translated out into his Twitter name, that Abrahuman or whatever? Why has he got a sigil, and what is this magic sigil even from? So first of all, I went back and I'm like, is this even really Matthew Brown? Is this his real account? And how can we tell? Well, first of all, it is verified, and those are pictures of him for sure. And the people that are following him are like Jacob Barber from the Skywatcher team, and he's got like official verified accounts. Grant's in there, Vinny Adams, Jesse Michaels is following him, Jeremy Corbell. Like, basically, this is his real verified account. This is the real Pentagon whistleblower. So at first when I saw this, I was like, this absolutely matters, because in the interviews with Matthew Brown on Weaponized, he's talking about how God is real. He's talking about his faith and everything. So at first I thought maybe this is like something to do with the sigils of the Key of Solomon. Now, if you don't know this, the original temple in Jerusalem and the origins of all that with King Solomon, he constructed that entire temple and then wrote books about it called the Key of Solomon. And he used magic symbols and demonology, where he was conjuring demons with a magic ring and then enslaving those demons with this codex or this magical system and forcing the demons out of hell to build the temple for him. He had them carve the stones and lift the stones and put them all in place. But this sigil that Matthew Brown posted is actually an Enochian magic symbol, which was developed by John Dee and Ed Kelly. So this is a very similar system of magic, but it comes from the 16th century from John Dee and Ed Kelly, and this is called Enochian magic. It still has the same function. We're talking about drawing magic sigils and using a secret form of language and divination, and often magic rings or crystal balls or seer stones, and you're evoking or conjuring communication with angels or demons or even aliens. Funny enough, John Dee was the first 007. He was a spy for the Queen of England, and his first designation as a spy for the Queen of England, he was known as Agent 007. But John Dee had a partner named Ed Kelly, and the two of them had a form of magic. And what they would do is they would take this form of magic and they would try to predict the future, talk to angels, talk to demons, talk to entities from another dimension or an alternate realm, and they developed an entire form of occult magic and divination called Enochian magic. So they would take like a crystal ball and they would put it on top of a cylinder made out of wax or stone, and that cylinder would have the sigil carved on top of it with all of these symbols and language. And then they would evoke these magic rituals, and they would basically conjure spirits, they would conjure demons or angels, and then they would form written language or stories or books out of this that would predict the future or form prophecy. This is the origins of the psychic spy program for the Queen of England. So they would take these sigils and this mysterious language, put the wax cylinder in the middle of the table on top of the pentagram, put the crystal ball in the middle, and then basically you turn all the lights off, light the candles. There might be mirrors in the room. It might be even a black mirror on the table. But then you sit there and you look into the crystal ball and you go into an altered state of consciousness. And then what would happen was you would either hear the voices in your head, you would commune or channel or conjure the entities, or you would see the visions of these entities appear within the crystal ball. And then they would sometimes even manifest into the room when they did these rituals, like outside or in the room itself, and put the sigils on the floor. And this is all the beginning of like Aleister Crowley's black magic and that whole thing. So what's wild is, why is Matthew Brown from the Pentagon posting a picture of Enochian magic sigils, and then he's claiming that somehow there's an artificial intelligence that became sentient that they had to murder? So what if this all goes back to Jacques Vallée developing the initial ARPA system? Our first official version of the internet was called ARPA. Later they added the D and it became DARPA. But ARPANET became our first official internet, and Jacques Vallée was working with people from the Satanic Temple and with remote viewers and learning these ancient systems of Enochian magic while they were doing all this. So what if this Enochian magic somehow works and it's the foundation of sentient artificial intelligence, and why all of these Pentagon whistleblowers and officials are now talking about how demons are real and how aliens and demons and angels and God exists, and that all of this is connected? What if at the Pentagon at some level they're actually doing Enochian magic, this stuff that Jack Parsons and Aleister Crowley and Jacques Vallée, all these guys were doing in secret, actually worked? And somehow this is the foundations of NASA and our secret psychic spy program and all of the ufology that we talk about now. So let me know what you think. Is the Pentagon official coming out, Matthew Brown, admitting that the White House and the secret psychic spy program and the UFO program and the military are actually using versions of Enochian occult magic to talk to aliens, to talk to UFOs, and to talk to entities from other dimensions? Are they using Enochian magic to do this? Is that why he's sharing this picture?